Hi Taurus, this is Sunshadow Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a longer reading, and the subject of today's reading is why love has eluded you. Now I know a lot of love readings give a very general forecast, but I wanted to get into kind of the specifics, things that you may be concerned with about your love life. And let's go into that pretty deeply. Okay, so I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you've seen some of my other videos. Maybe you've come here because I do daily readings. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and you'll get notifications for those daily readings. They're usually very short, under a minute, and to help you get through your day. Okay, so let's start out. What we're going to be doing is reading, the whole situation about why love has eluded you in context. I'll be using several decks. Okay, at first we have the Five of Wands. I'm going to do a couple of cards and then we'll look at it. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Fool. Let's talk about these for a little bit before we go on. Right now, your love life, or your estimation of your own love life, may be in conflict. You may be in conflict with your career. As you can see here, you've got a conflict card, definitely. And this is a card of work, finance, money, investments. Now, it could be that love, any love relationship that you want to start, may be in conflict with the career that you also want. Maybe you feel like you can't have your cake and eat it too. And you just may want to, give up on one or the other. And that's really not a resolution. In the past, looks like you've had some relationships that didn't quite go the way you thought they would, and you really had to pick up the pieces and kind of try to move on. Maybe some of those relationships were very messy, were very intense, and I can understand that because, Taurus, you're a very intense person. You want to wring as much out of life and as you possibly can, and as much out of your career as you possibly can. You're real go-getters when you find something that you like, when you find something that you immerse yourself into. You really dig your feet into the ground and go for it. And Taurus people can be very, very successful, very, very driven. And I think also in their love life, they want to wring as much out of the love life as they possibly can. I mean, you guys do. And as much out of your career, because you feel that life is worth living. And, there's so much. You want to get all the juice out of it. You want to get all the flavor out of every experience. And that can be very intense for some other people who may not understand that drive that you have. So your intensity could be at some of the root of maybe reasons that love eludes you, or maybe past breakups. That's possible. It would depend on the partner. Now, presently, it looks like you're ready to do new things. You're ready to take risks. You're ready to go forward. And there's the Judgment card in the future. And let's see here. Okay. All right. The Judgment card is a sort of secondary transformational card. It's not like Justice, for example, where it's sort of the first trial. This is like the second trial. So you've been through some things. You've made some evaluations. Even though you're still willing to go, this is actually quite great, because no matter what's happened in the past, you are ready to start clean slate. Let's go for it. Let's do it again. And I think that in itself is very optimistic. It's very admirable in a love life, because so many people get bogged down and they'll say, oh, my love life didn't go well. I just don't have the patience to do this again. I can't put myself through this anymore. And you're not like that. You're like, well, turn the page. Let's go for it, because there's new opportunities out there. I think some people might say, you've heard people say, oh, they just think of love as a numbers game. And I don't know if that's exactly, a correct evaluation. Some people just have a better way of turning the page. Some people have a better way of appreciating what was in the past and moving on. No matter how intense that breakup may have been, they realize that today is another day. And that does sound a lot like you. So we're having the Page of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups, and here we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Now, here's where your optimism and your ability to move things along and not get bogged down in the past is in your favor. I would say that, you are always open to new communication. And it can result in some very good arrangements. It can result in some very good connections. But emotionally, I think reflection is always a very good thing. Sometimes people who are on the go, people who, as I say, want to just get the juice out of life, sometimes don't stop and reflect enough. You may feel it doesn't require that much time, but I think this is a bit of a reminder that a bit of reflection isn't necessarily a bad thing. In the end, though, it looks like, your ability to have a career and a house and a family is very good. And I think that's because you're so driven. I think that's really where that comes into play. If you lost your drive, then I think you'd be in a very bad position. But as long as you can keep with your Taurus drive and keep aligned with that, then love will eventually come to you. I would say that you may meet a lot of your love connections resulting from your career, because you are so career oriented. You like to do things. You don't like to sit around. It's just not you. Let's look at some other decks here. Okay? And let's see what that has to say. Because by using other decks, it's often very revealing. love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I think that Tauruses who don't love themselves can be a bit rare. But don't let anybody make you feel bad about that either. A lot of people who love themselves and put themselves first are often called selfish. And yeah, selfish is a good thing. It's a good thing in its own way, because you can't help anybody else. You can't be there for somebody unless you're there for yourself first. I mean, the example is if you're in an airplane with a child and something goes wrong and the oxygen mask drops, what do they tell you to do? They tell you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then help the child, right? So in love, in career, in life, loving yourself first, taking care of yourself, being secure in your own space is a terrifically important thing. And like I said, don't unalign yourself with that, because that's naturally where you are. So you have to keep that energy, you keep that drive, you keep that understanding of how important yourself is, and your energy in yourself. You must be aligned with your own energy, doing your own thing your own way, because your gut instinct is very good. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So, yes, it is worth the effort. Balancing career, balancing love, that is worth the effort, though it can seem very, very strenuous at times. Let's take a look at something else here. Adventure. Okay, that's a very good card. Maybe you haven't gone on enough adventures. You're very driven. You're very career motivated. You're very love motivated. But perhaps one of the reasons that you're not connecting with enough people is you haven't gone far enough. Maybe you need to go a little further. Go on a trip that's a little more far out. You know, maybe you've only gone in your own country. Maybe you need to go to another country or halfway around the world. Maybe love is there. It looks like, that would be good advice for anybody. Get out, see more of the world, experience more people. Expression. Do you express yourself enough? Or are you hiding behind, say, a business card? Are you really showing people who you are, not just in a career sense, but on an emotional level? Are you showing the person that you're really interested in a little bit more of a vulnerable side? I know that may be difficult, and that may be not something you're used to, but people don't want to date a caricature either. People don't want to date somebody who's two-dimensional, who leads with, I do this, I do that, I've done this, I've done that. They may want to talk on a more emotional level about maybe more creative things, maybe more expressive things. So adventure, expression, maybe you need to be more artistic, a little bit more sensitive, maybe slow down the pace a little bit for somebody that may not be as driven as you. And let's go back to this. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Again, this is what I was saying. You just have to, perhaps one of the reasons that love has eluded you is that you just haven't peeled back that extra layer to let somebody in to the real you. One more card here. Enchantment. That's a beautiful card, isn't it? You may be enchanted by people. It's very possible that you could be taken in, being such a driven person, being a career-oriented person. You may be taken in a little bit by somebody's veneer. It goes back to this, getting to know somebody on a deeper level and letting them know you on a deeper level. I think that seems to be the theme here. And let's take a look at this card. Wait. I should shuffle this. This is one deck I did not shuffle. But I want to do this one last deck and see what it says. This is a deck I created myself. Don't rule out the impossible. What a great card. So, if you think it's impossible to get love, or I've done everything I could possibly do, obviously there is one more thing you could do. There is one more possibility out there as far as love goes. So it looks like, if we were to sum it up, to let someone know you better and try to get to know other people better on a more emotional level. Get out there, go further, go farther. Meet people, out of your comfort zone. That people in situations where you have not explored. Because if you're saying, I couldn't possibly meet somebody in this situation, I couldn't possibly meet somebody in that situation, that may not be the case. You may be thinking, I couldn't possibly meet somebody who's this rich. I couldn't possibly meet or get married to somebody who comes from another country. That's very possible, but you have to get out there. You have to meet people. You have to make those connections. And I think that you have all the tools in your arsenal to do that. It's just you have to put them to work. You have to step it up and go the next level. I hope that this resonated with you. I hope it helped to explore this on a deeper level. If it did resonate with you, please like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate your comments to see if you agreed with this or didn't agree with it. If it resonated with you at all, that would be great. I would love to hear that. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe, and you would be notified of my daily readings. They don't take too much time. They're really short, and they're a lot of fun. Okay, and I'll be doing more longer readings in the future on various topics. I have a lot of plans for this channel. Once again, Taurus, thank you so much. I enjoyed this. I hope you did too. I want you to have a fabulous day and get out there. Get into that dating pool, because there's somebody out there who will align with you. I'm absolutely sure of it. Have a great day, Taurus. Thank you again so much.